Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? What's up? What's up? Welcome back to another Relentless recap. That was the song of a red day. But red days, they happen. They're part of the career, they're part of the field, the nature, the job of what we're doing. It's part of the unwritten contract. And today, I happen to get smacked around by the markets, guys. A little unfortunate, a little disappointing. But it's how it goes, right? Sometimes you do end up on the wrong side of the trades. These last 2 weeks for me in particular has been a little challenging. And as much as we're trying to adjust for these pullbacks and these type of things, we are still getting caught in some areas. Why is this like this? Anyhow, yeah. So today we're gonna take a look at it, and we're gonna jump straight into some archives. Guys, be sure to hit that thumbs up, and of course remember the risks of trading. Remember that trading, like any other business here in the States, is risky. Remember to approach it in a safe and slow way, especially if you are a beginner. All right. So, uh, hold on. P&L, let's see, P&L on the day. Down $1,424.15, losing 1,000 on CNXA, 400 on ALXO, and everything else was essentially scratch. So let's take a look at this halt trade. I did post this on a reel. For those of you who might not have seen it, this was brutal, man. This was brutal. ICU, and something to mention, right? So at one point on ICU, we're up about 400 there. And to start the day, actually, right into the open, we did get slightly green on SPRC before we gave back profits. I think I was being a little too aggressive in some of the wrong areas here, trying to get, some lower entries, hoping we'd hold and continue to push, but that wasn't the case. But yeah, we were playing the range. We got some decent trades, and I believe right here is where we're gonna give back. Right, so let's see. We're gonna buy a dip here around 49. And I'm using small size. I probably could have done with some more size earlier, but still not too bad, right? But with the small size, getting it done here early, capturing a couple of trades. Watch this right here. So I'm gonna get back in here. Hold on, it's coming, not quite yet. I'm gonna get back in here for a break of 75, I believe. And right here, it's coming. And look at how volatile the stock was in this area. I believe it's right here. Okay, maybe not. Uh, it's so hard to remember. There's a moment where we should have gotten the new high. I think it was here. Right here, right here. Look at this. So I'm going to be long here at 75. This is an anticipation move for the high of 7. And watch it how this comes back down aggressively. Right, immediately as the buying is coming in, we're already at 90. And this is looking great to potentially push over 7. Right? We got to 92. And then look at how the spreads widen up in between. Now it's at 67 by 89. Like, what's going on? And so for me, the way how this is playing out in my head, it's like, okay, we're going up nicely. I'm looking for the sell up here at 85, 90 as we're going to continue to go. Well, look at this, literally 66 by 78. And then immediately, it jumps back up to 85. It's like, what's going on with these stocks? So, a lot of like craziness like that, imagine that as a losing trade. I was up like three something. So, and then again, over here, as we fast forward, I ended up buying the pullback again, and we went lower. So we started off the day on the green side of things before going red. ICU, we got ourselves up about 400 at one point right here. And then we ended up giving back profits as well as this one ended up doing a huge sell-off right here. Look at this drop. I was watching here with small size, and this thing absolutely came down hard. I got to do a better job cutting some of these trades like this faster. Like, I'm trying to give it a bit of a backstop, but even with the small size, it's like, okay. So I'm going to try and buy a dip here actually to see if we can get the bounce. No bounce. I'm going to cut it all there at 65 as that's going to come down. So that was ICU. Decent stock though. I did miss the second curl back up watching other stuff. But yeah, here we go. CNXA. So right after that, I'm like, you know what, CNXA, it's on the scan. People are talking about it. This is the one I'm going to watch. Look at this madness. So I'm gonna also try and pause it to show you guys, the moment I realize like, okay, it's not gonna go and I need to get out, I'm gonna try and punch it to get the sell. So we open up, it lingers, and then there's some buying. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna jump in. Risk right here, 505, 510, whatever. Let's say 505. That's kind of what I'm thinking in the back of my mind if this is like to really fail. So I'm in, and then I'm seeing the bids coming down like, it's not looking good. I need to get out. So right here, I'm going to punch it. Right here between 12 and 16. This is where my sell order is going to come. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just get out of this. It should have been going already. 25. We should have been at 30. So I'm going to put out my sell order. The last I saw on the ask was 16. I know the bids were coming down 11, 10. I thought I would have gotten a good fill right there. But instead, look at how fast all the orders in between just evaporates. I mean, 85 and another tick, 73. Boom. And in the blink of an eye, at this point on the day, I was down 200. So this is going to put me down 700. And it's like, are you kidding me? 700, 800 at this point. So this is where things kind of took a turn for the worst. And, I was going to shut it down here. But then the stock did do this good red to green. Initially, I wasn't interested down here as the volume was trending down. And we had big selling volume coming down here. So wasn't super interested initially. But it's going to do a nice red to green here. And it curled up, over this bear flag down at like 465, 470. It did well. It did well down there. If we go back a little bit, right in this area. Hold on, let's go back some more. Yeah, right here. This is essentially like the trigger point as this volume here is coming in, 65 area. And like, hey, let's see if we can get up to $5. So that ended up happening like about a minute later. So we got from 65 to 83. It pulled back to about what was that, 72? And then it pushed up here again. It's chasing on the halt level. And I said, you know what? I'm going to give this thing a chance. So I'm going to buy the pullback here. And I think I got in with just 1,000 shares. I mean, it was a decent trade. Yeah, I'm going to buy the pullback. I'm like, okay, I'm going to take initially I was in at 98, which was great. But I ended up selling a little bit early as there was, or 01 rather. Sold a little early as there was a ton of sellers. Actually, no, 98. Yeah, 98. 98. So the ask pushes up to 16. Right here, I think I should try and sell the ask a little bit, a little bit more aggressively. And we're holding 500. We still got an average of 01. So this is going to be a pretty decent trade. I think we're going to sell it. And look at that. Spreads come right back down as I'm attempting to sell. So again, utilizing the ask. There's a high chance I got filled at 10 right there. Utilizing the ask in this situation is good. But, even when the spreads tighten up rather, there's still a lot of like slippage with the volatility of it just fluctuating. So you got to be quick. But at limit orders, I think is the best way to go here because I could have definitely got 16 on the first order and maybe about 25 coming back out. So I'm going to jump back in and I'm going to watch for the next move. Or I didn't jump back in. I should have jumped back in. Let's see. I should have been back in here at 16, 17. I probably would have gotten filled mid to low 20s. 12. Yeah, okay, I see. And so the spreads, so putting out a bid is not a bad idea here for me in this situation. So I could have been back in. So I'm going to miss this move. But anyhow, it started off with a good trade. And over time, we ended up getting obliterated. So I ended up trying to buy a pullback here. And this was a great attempt to no fill, man. So I'm like, okay, I missed that initial pop. Once it came back down right here, I'm gonna throw out a bid right there, but it's just, just a little too late. We're literally gonna bounce in that moment. You can see my order kind of flashed a little bit there, and it's back up, and it's like, man, but that would have been a great entry to try and hold for the bigger push, right? 13. Did it come down here? Yes, it did. Okay, it did. It did come down. So 95 ended up holding up. So, it's a good attempt right there for the higher hold, but we had to pull back to 95. So, yeah, some good trades that, we just got chopped out, right? 95 ended up being the low here, which was the low of the last pullback down here. So, after making the new high, we still pulled back to that, it's like we gave back the gains to the very first high of day after this breakout here, if that makes any sense. I think you guys get what I'm trying to say. So, the pullbacks today were like 5-minute pullbacks rather than like 1-minute dips. Like we're kind of watching this consolidation here to hold, but we get that bigger drop. And so, I gave it a good attempt, but that's how I ended up giving back. And so on this move up, watch this right here. This wasn't a quick, aggressive move from 95. It literally jumps to 19 on the ask. If you're not in down there in that dip, a little difficult, right? So we're in at 06. There's a jump to 25. So we're coming out 1,000 shares at about 19 right there. And then we get 35. And I believe we're going to cut the rest between 25 and 35. So, again, we had some good trades, right? So we got caught buying 13. We bought it back low. The goal there was 95. We're in a little higher, but we had some good trades, but overall not good enough. So, I when I watched it back, I did like the trades I was taking. So I feel good. Tomorrow I'll be back. Right here I'm gonna get caught in the spreads. There's 50, 64. It's gonna dip. I'm gonna try and buy the dip down here between 38 and 45. I'm in at 45, of course. Oh, 44. And we ended up having a lower low at 30. I believe it pulled back to 26 here before bouncing. So getting chopped out in areas like that to where I would expect continuation stuff. It wasn't a bad day by any means. We just happened to lose a lot because of how volatile the stocks were, right? But yeah, I felt good. I still feel great. Tomorrow we'll be back and we'll see how it goes. And I do apologize. This recap is a little all over the place. It's been a long, long day, and I'm not trying to cut anything or redo anything. It's just raw, just like how it is. So hit that thumbs up. Check out those links down below. Check out the links for the chat room. Check out the links for the course membership. If you guys want to become a course member and learn how we do this stuff and how we manage risk, be sure to check it out. The red days will happen, but in the long run, as long as we continue to stay consistent, we will be big green like we are right now. So it's a matter of staying disciplined even when we have these type of challenging days or rough patches. So stay focused, stay dialed in, stay locked in, and let's keep at it. Let's stay relentless. Let's keep working. Bright and early again tomorrow at 9, 10 a.m. Let's do it.